Last week, Congress approved a massive tax and spending bill called the One Big Beautiful Bill. Let's talk about it. My name is Stephanie Greene. I am a certified financial planner here at Strategic Financial Group, and this is a market update. Now, full disclosure, when it comes to all the provisions in this bill, I am not going to go over all of them with you, namely because there are so many of them that my short video will turn into a feature-length film, and you don't have time to watch that. What I'm going to do is just handpick some of the provisions I think are going to impact our clients the most. If you want to read the bill in its entirety, you are welcome to do so. All right, guys, let's talk about it. So the first one I'm going to address is the estate tax. For my beneficiaries, if you inherit less than $15 million, your estate tax will not be triggered, which a lot of our beneficiaries are going to be happy about. Another provision is there's going to be an enhanced deduction for seniors. So now in this context or in this bill, they're defining seniors as those 65 and older, which kind of cracks me up because I don't view that as seniors, but to each their own, I guess. Before this bill passed, there was a buzz about Social Security taxation, and people were wondering if they were going to eliminate taxes on Social Security. They're not going to do that. What they're going to do instead is if you're 65 and older and you make less than $150,000 married filing jointly, you're going to be able to take an additional $6,000 of a deduction off your tax return. This bill is also going to increase the state and local tax deduction cap. You might hear that referred to as SALT deduction cap in the news or what have you. So this bill is going to raise the $10,000 deduction cap up to $40,000 for couples that are making less than $500,000. Especially in certain states, that is a pretty big relief to some of those residents. One provision that's going to be permanent that I am happy about is before this bill was passed, when it came time to do your taxes, you had to make the choice. Either you were going to itemize your taxes, which included your charitable contributions, or you took the standard deduction. Now what this bill is allowing you to do is if you're taking the standard deduction, if you're filing married filing joint, you can take $2,000 of charitable contributions off of your tax return, even with taking the standard deduction, which is pretty cool. This last one I'm going to talk about is for my environmentally conscious clients. The green energy tax credit for buying an electric vehicle is going to go away. So if you're going to buy that electric vehicle, you need to sign for that car before September 30th of this year. Otherwise, you're going to miss out on that $7,500 tax credit that you would get. So if you need a distribution to get that car, let me know. So let's talk about how the bill in its entirety could potentially impact the markets. This bill is going to make a lot of 2017 tax cuts permanent, which provides stability, which my market likes. One of the reasons why the market has been so volatile this year is because there's been a ton of uncertainty around tariffs and foreign policy and what have you. This bill provides stable footing in regards to taxes in the short term, and so people know how to navigate and duck and weave when they know the rules, so this provides that stability. So argument could be made that the market is going to appreciate this stability. It could stay higher, go even higher. Time will tell. We're not entirely sure. What can make the markets go low is that, remember, tariffs are set to expire. There's a lot of uncertainty around that and around our foreign policy. Markets don't like uncertainty, right? So that could impact the markets negatively. I'm looking at my equities, just talking about the market. Now I'm going to switch over to bonds. So what this bill, the Beautiful Bill Act, or Big Beautiful Bill Act, is going to do is it is going to increase our national debt, and it is going to increase the national debt ceiling. A couple of videos ago, I talked about how if you were taking a bond from somebody or from a company, you want to make sure that they are stable and that they're not going to default, because if they default on their bond to you or that, you're not going to get paid back your money. So when you have a country that has a high national debt and they're raising that national debt, raising the debt ceiling, bonds are going to be wary of that. If you're taking out a treasury bond that the U.S. government is going to be giving you, you want to make sure they're a solid creditor. There could potentially be some issues in the bond market in regards to that. Also, what might impact the bond market is Powell is talking about potentially lowering interest rates this year. Remember that bonds and interest rates have an opposite relationship. So if Powell is going to lower interest rates, my bonds are going to go up. But Stephanie, you just said that bonds might go down because of the national debt. Yep. And I also said that the markets could stay up because this bill provides stability, but also there's foreign policy and tariffs that make the it's bananas, right? It's complete bananas. So for our clients that are investing here at Strategic, there is a portion of our investment models that I can swing into stocks or bonds depending on how markets are doing. Right now, we are staying in a neutral position for a lot of the reasons that I just discussed. There has not been a sustained or a strong enough pattern in the markets for us to make that change heavier into stocks or heavier into bonds. So right now we're staying neutral. Obviously, we are always watching to see what's coming out of Washington, what are the, quarterly earnings reports from companies and all of that to try to make our best decision and our best advice for our clients. As always, if you have any questions or just want to go over your stuff for a little bit of reassurance, please give us a call, set up an appointment. We are happy to help you and we're here to serve you.